and trees and cows and chickens and millions of scents. For a dog whose nose was sensitive to smells, it was overwhelming, but in a good way. And unlike those poor, sad city dogs who had to sit around all day in houses or apartments waiting for their owners to come home, and who might only get a few minutes each day to sniff about outside in the real world, all the while leashed to someone trailing along after them carrying a little plastic cleanup bag, farm dogs had it made. You could run and run and run all day long. You could, Chipper, round up the sheep, or chase squirrels, or hang out watching the cows get milked, or jump into the back of your owner's pickup truck and be driven all over the property. You could flop down on your side in the dirt, in the sun, and feel the heat through your fur. These were Chipper's memories when he had a dream. In many of them, he was with his mom. In the dreams, Chipper had the power of speech. He could tell his mother how much he loved her. He could tell her how much he liked life on the farm and how he would never, ever leave. But then, sometimes, the dreams would turn dark as the SUV that arrived one day. The SUV with the men in dark suits, the men from the Institute. Chipper would plead with his mother not to make him go away with the men. He wanted to be a regular dog forever. Chipper! He didn't want anyone opening him up and putting in all sorts of fancy equipment. He didn't want anyone taking away his real eyes and replacing them with cameras so that the people back at the Institute could see what he saw. He didn't want anyone giving him the ability to figure out what 7 times 15 times 11 divided by 16 was. Who needed to know that when you were a dog? Sometimes when he was having a dream like this, Chipper tried to make the men get back into their black SUV, turn around and leave the farm. Sometimes he was able to do it, and sometimes he wasn't. This was turning into one of those times when, Chipper! Chipper activated his eyes. Where was he? And who was this boy yelling at him? Oh, right. He was in an old Volkswagen camper van. Harry Green, that guy in his late 60s, who'd been staying in one of the cabins at the boys' fishing camp, was up front behind the steering wheel. And the boy in the back, sitting right next to Chipper, waking him up, was Jeff, his 12-year-old friend, the one he had set out to find when he'd busted out of the Institute. Were you dreaming? Jeff asked. I couldn't wake you up. Jeff was holding a cell phone in his hand, the kind that could do everything from make phone calls to surf the internet. But the only thing Jeff used it for now was texting, and not even to write texts, but to receive them. From Chipper. As advanced as Chipper was, he could not actually speak. He could think things, and those thoughts could be translated into words that were then transmitted as texts to Jeff's phone. Jeff's friend Emily had figured it out. She was one smart cookie. Jeff didn't have to text to Chipper. All he had to do was talk to him, and Chipper understood every word. Chipper responded. Yes, I was dreaming. Jeff glanced at the phone and read the response. Chipper noticed that the boy looked very anxious. Chipper also quickly became aware the van was driving very quickly. He hopped up on the seat at the tiny dining table. The battered old van also had a bed at the back with storage underneath, a tiny stove and refrigerator, and a narrow closet to hold odds and ends. They were on a country lane. A quick glance ahead and back revealed that the van was the only vehicle on the road. But Chipper was hearing more than just the van's rasping engine. There was something above them. What is happening? They found us. Chipper did not have to ask who had found them. That would be the Institute. But as far as Chipper could tell, they were not being followed. Where are they? Jeff's index finger pointed straight up. Chipper stuck his head out an already open window. His black and white fur fluttered in the high wind as he craned his neck to look up. They were being chased by a helicopter. Does he see it? Harry shouted. He had helped Jeff and Chipper get away from the fishing camp Jeff's aunt ran after the Institute had tracked them.